Welcome back, everyone, to today's Explainer. So let's just get real for a second. Have you ever found yourself standing at a major career crossroads? Maybe you're a recent grad, maybe you're eyeing a huge pivot, or maybe your entire industry just got turned upside down overnight. If you've ever felt that crushing, overwhelming pressure to figure out exactly what you're going to do for the literal rest of your life, well, you are definitely in the right place today. Human nature means we crave a map, right? We want this rigid, foolproof 10-year plan to confidently guide us from point A to point B. But what if I told you that desperately searching for that one single, perfectly defined path is actually the exact thing holding you back?
Let's dive right in with a super powerful idea to anchor our whole discussion today. Don't put your life into an iron box welded shut too early. Wow, it's such a visceral image, isn't it? We so often treat our career planning as if we absolutely have to lock in every single detail right this second, basically sealing ourselves inside a very specific, inescapable trajectory. But here's the truth. This kind of highly detailed early mapping, it's a trap. It completely restricts your potential before you've even had a chance to really explore it.
Section 1. Farewell, Iron Box Life. It's time to fundamentally shift how we think.
Okay, we really need to stop viewing careers as a closed-book exam where there's only one correct answer. It's definitely not a quick fix you can just sort out in a 30-minute brainstorming session. Think about the old approach for a second. It's like treating your career as an engineering blueprint or a one-way bridge. Like imagine an accountant who spent 10 years meticulously climbing a very rigid corporate ladder only to suddenly face industry-wide automation. Suddenly, they're just stuck. That is the ultimate danger of the blueprint mindset. Reality, honestly, is a lot more like sailing. You've got to navigate constantly changing weather, shifting winds, entirely different ports. Your career isn't a fixed schematic. It's a completely dynamic conversation. Think about it. If your plan is built like a one-way bridge, when an industry dries up or technology drastically shifts, that bridge just collapses. Boom. You're left with absolutely nowhere to go. But a sailor? When the wind turns against them, they don't just give up or crash into the rocks. They adapt. They adjust the sails, pivot, and chart a totally new course to a new port. Moving on to Section 2, expand your problem pool. Now, in this early phase, it is all about quantity over quality. Let's do a quick, rapid-fire exercise in divergent thinking. Ask yourself, can I jump across fields within my major? You got to start challenging yourself to look right past your current silo. What adjacent roles have you completely ignored simply because they just weren't the quote-unquote traditional next step? Next up, can I try another industry entirely? I want you to mentally explore a complete career pivot right now, totally zero judgment. Think about your transferable skills. If you're in tech, couldn't those exact skills apply to healthcare? If you're in finance, what about the green energy sector? And hey, don't stop there. Do I have possibilities in entrepreneurship, teaching, writing, charity, or even research? By actually listing out these wild, cross-boundary possibilities, it really demonstrates the massive breadth of options actually available to you. You are not confined to one corporate ladder, guys. The entire playground of human endeavor is technically open for you to explore. And finally, ask yourself, can I accept the call of a distant place, like working abroad or maybe retreating to the countryside? And listen, these aren't just idle daydreams or you trying to escape reality. These questions are the essential raw materials for actual thought. When you brainstorm this widely, you create a dense concentration of ideas, and that is exactly what gives you room to maneuver later on. So, the crucial takeaway here boils down to a pretty simple formula. 10 choices equals the most suitable choice. If you only think of one or two possible paths, you're inevitably going to end up just making do with whatever happens to be directly in front of you. But if you force yourself to generate 10 different options, you literally guarantee that your final decision is an intentional, calculated selection. You're not settling, you are actively choosing the most suitable path from a massive array of possibilities. Which brings us to Section 3, finding your energy match. This is all about balancing happiness and efficiency. Because look, generating options is just step one, right? How do you actually know which option is the right one for you? It's really not about what looks impressive on paper. It's about how the environment actually makes you feel on a random Tuesday. Think about the crazy contrasts in how we work. Someone like Sarah might absolutely thrive on the high adrenaline, high-risk chaos of a busy city startup. Meanwhile, David might literally double his actual output by moving out to the country for a slow-rhythm, highly focused solo data role. Happiness and efficiency? They are definitely not a one-size-fits-all standard. And that introduces a hugely vital concept, your energy match. A lot of times, struggling in a career isn't actually an ability problem at all.
It's an energy matching problem. You've got to find the work state that makes you truly full of vitality. Because when your environment actually matches your natural energy, your self-worth and your capabilities grow steadily. Contrast that with being constantly, endlessly depleted by an environment that's basically fighting against your core nature.
But honestly, to find that match, we really have to get out of our own way first. You know the excuses. Oh, I didn't study this. I'm already 30. My family won't allow it. I just don't have the right conditions. We use this defensive language to willingly lock ourselves right back inside that iron box. They're just excuses we rely on when we haven't truly opened our minds. Just remember, every single time you say something is impossible, there's almost always a "why not try" hiding right behind it.
All right, Section 4, Modular Survival Rules. How to actually thrive in an era of extreme uncertainty.
Look around. We live in an era where massive industries can literally die overnight. Tech shifts fundamentally change how we do our jobs, and economic volatility is basically just the new normal. So true planning in this chaotic world means building spare tires. For example, if you're a corporate marketer, your spare tire might be a little weekend freelance consulting gig. When reality inevitably shifts and your main tire blows out, you don't crash, you just calmly swap in your freelance work and keep rolling. Your career strategy absolutely must be open-ended.
To pull this off, you need to approach your career like modular building blocks. First, it should be deconstructible, meaning you can easily break apart your current skill set. Second, it needs to be replaceable. If your current industry shrinks, you can just snap those skills into a totally new one. And third, expandable, allowing you to constantly add on new knowledge. You are building a versatile, adaptable structure, not pouring permanent concrete.
So, the ultimate philosophy of divergent career thinking really boils down to this. First, draw a draft. Then, a blueprint. I really encourage you to sketch out even the most totally absurd versions of your future before you lock anything in. Those wild, crazy drafts, they release your hidden potential. And those unrealized versions of yourself aren't failures at all. They are your spare tires, just sitting in the trunk, completely ready to protect you against the storm when things get rough. We're going to wrap up on this exact provocative thought. Please don't weld that iron box shut just yet. Don't rush to ask, what will I do later? First ask, can I allow myself more possibilities? By embracing this divergent thinking, by acknowledging your true energy matches, and building a modular, adaptable career, you're not just planning for a job, you are designing a resilient life. So think about it. What incredible possibilities have you been denying yourself? It might just be time to start sketching out those wild drafts. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you next time.